Okay, we're live.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're live. Okay, so I guess the break is now over and we can get into it. First things first, let's do a people check. Rekken,
Ditto.
Seth,
Hello.
Enchantress. I think that was a yes. I wasn't quite sure. Enchantress.
Oh, sorry. Present.
Hey, and Elle.
Yes, I am here.
All right, that's everyone. Okay. Hello, everybody. So, first things first, for those of you listening later on,
Lube.
3 things. 1, what's up?
First things first, lube.
Oh my
God. It's too
Annie.
early. Annie, please. Annie, please. First things first. I'm not on my best because I literally just came out from work. I didn't realize work would drain me this much. So we're gonna have a nice, simple, easy, boring, mundane session. We're gonna have a good, boring time doing boring things. So it'll be fine.
Yeah.
I may start you all with powerful blows. I'm sorry. Secondly, Enchantress, could you tell me more about yourself? Because I only managed to read what little I could find so far, and I wanted to know a bit more what you think. Because you're the only character I don't actually know much about, and I want to try and involve you a bit more in the plot.
Yeah, sure. Enchantress is Transformed playbook, just plant affinity, and transmuting flesh. And is just a large, tall, very uncomfortable plant girl.
I think that's probably fair. Anything else I need to know about you? Anything interesting? Anything amazing?
She's 15, right? Enchantress.
Enchantress.
Yeah, hi, sorry, my push to talk is being very weird for some reason.
It's fine. That's what we're here for. Take your time, make sure you're all good, and I know it'll be cool.
Okay, super. But yes, I'm sorry, I am sick, so I'm like half out of it right now. Yes, 1, wants to be an investigative journalist when she grows up. 2, today is her birthday.
Oh, happy birthday!
3, she wants to interview the Fish Prince.
Okay.
So she's 16 now.
No, she is 15.
Okay.
All right. I think that's a fantastic way to start. I'm loving it. All right, guys. Give me one moment. I'm just opening some more files. Make sure it's all good. Anything else? Anyone else needs to let me know before we continue? Like any dramatic changes that have happened to you all since the last time I spoke to you? I know. Have you all decided like you're all killers, etc., whatever you want? No. In that case, next question: is there anyone here who chose to be part of the League of Heroes? Anyone who chose not to be part of the League of Heroes?
I'm in the league.
I am also in the league.
Seth is not in the league.
Oh no. Seth,
Oh.
why?
It was also
Seth,
not.
why you do this?
It was narratively appropriate.
I think that's probably fair. And Enchantress is also not in the league, right?
Correct.
Okay. So, shall we get this started on the road?
Mm-hmm.
First things first. X card. Everyone knows how to use it. Please shake it to make sure you can use it.
Where? There's no X card on this
I think we're
page.
on the wrong page.
Oh no. Okay,
Yeah.
give me a minute. For those of you listening in, I'm so sorry it's taking this long to get to the plot. Give it a minute, okay? Give it a minute. I gotta prepare the page.
You gotta prepare the page. I'm preparing a page. Okay.
Okay, no, you prepare the page. You're better at this than I am.
No,
I
I'm
can watch
not.
you do it while I.
Oh gosh, I'm overlaying everyone's portraits on top of each other.
You're doing God's work. You're doing God's work. And then we'll just move everyone to the right page.
My CPU is shot.
Plus, it gives me some time to relax and get to know you all better. See how you're all doing. Everyone all right? Okay, good. I'm glad. I'm glad I was having a good time.
Nobody answered.
Yeah. I'm a goblin today.
Oh no, what happened?
No, it's just I'm in goblin mode. It happens sometimes.
I don't actually know what that means.
You know, it means that you like chase after shiny things, you retreat into a cave.
It's more the
Spoil
retreating
people's
into a cave
lives.
kind of thing. Yes.
Oh, okay, fair dues. I'll keep that in mind. I'll try and keep the game to be sensible and not silly enough that you won't have to worry about it.
We don't have space for the X card.
Oh no! Make some space for the X card!
I can't. Where is the X card?
There's a copy of it on season 3, episode 18.
Okay. This is behind the scenes GM action.
Yeah, it's hot. I know you love it.
Copy. Paste.
Paste.
Okay, it almost didn't work for a second. Okay, you know what? Let's just have it so that you can move the X card into the vent.
Okay, good.
Okay, let me just make that clear.
We're doing cards work.
I know how to draw
How's everyone doing
circles.
today? How's everyone else doing today, by the way? While I distract you all from all this.
Everything's set up. If need be.
Alright. Let's move everyone to the right page. What page is it?
It's the home page. Everybody's on it already.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh man, look at that sweet art for Rekken now.
Thanks. It's not done yet. You can see by the... I didn't finish all the triangles.
I need my triangles.
They look good to me.
I'll take what I
Yeah.
can get. Alright.
Alright.
So, we have once again a lovely shot. It's a special day today. For those of you who have class, you've been excused for the evening section. As this evening you're going to a very special place, and you are basically to pick up a passenger on your way to the special place. We will start the game with a lovely camera zoom in of Halcyon City, but this time along the more not residential, the more mall style area with all the buildings and shops and everything else, and we cut to what looks like a fantastic place, basically labeled the Penny Arcade, which goes downstairs to this arcade like emporium where there's all these machines playing little games all the way in there. There's one at the very far back that some guy over there is like doing DDR, is like really going with their feet. There's one that's doing DDR but with their hands, so doing like fabulous Vogue poses to do things. It's fantastic. And as you all come down the stairs, 4 of you together, because you had to come pick up someone, the camera will cut down to what looks like a crowd surrounding one of the other Penny Arcade, the one that was called arcade machines, and that is where your target is.
Can we see our target?
No, because there's too many people blocking your view. They're all crowding over to see how they're doing.
Can I look over the crowd? Perhaps?
So,
Are we in costume?
You can or cannot be. It's up to you entirely.
It's up to everyone else. Should we all be in costume, or would that be weird?
I mean, I don't know who we're meeting or why, so I
Yeah.
don't know if I can make that decision at the moment.
I
Yeah,
guess.
it's not, you don't have to make this right now if you want, but having you put your neck up is perfectly fine. There's no consequences for that.
Well, no, my legs, not my neck. I'm not a
Oh,
giraffe.
predators. So you stretch your legs in the bed to put your head up, and you can see sitting there on the table, on the chair, on a chair, there's like a 2-sided arcade table. There's like a chair at the front, a chair at the back, and a machine in the middle, and a screen separating them, with it showing the same thing on both sides. And you can see Prince Narsus is seriously having some serious fun with the latest fighter that came out, which is League Fighters Infinite.
Oh my.
And he's currently comboing as the latest Rekka character Sledge against Galahad, and the opposite person next to him is losing. So he's like putting his Rekka combos and doing offense, and his hands are moving super fast, and Galahad, being a zoner, is finding it really difficult to keep the distance away, and Narsus is like going at it, like typing the keyboard, and then he goes, "I avenge ye!" And he puts his hand up, and and Sledge does like a finisher combo, and he goes, "KO!" And he goes, "At last, another slain! Who else brings the quarters to be brought down by my justice?" And people are just lining up, ready to kick his ass. And it's just queue upon queue of people sitting down, getting your butts kicked, getting up, moving away, sitting down, getting your butts kicked, getting up, moving away.
Okay, I'll relay that information to the group.
Sledge is fighting Galahad?
Well, yes, but it's a game that, Prince Narsus is playing, and he's playing as Sledge, and he's kicking everybody's butts, and he kicked Galahad's butt. He playing as Sledge kicked Galahad's butt, not... would he be able to kick Galahad's butt?
Flawless victory! At last I have conquered yet another Earthling! Come on, people! Give me a challenge!
I didn't know they had video games in Montreal.
Isn't he also an Earthling?
I guess he's a waterling.
I mean, the Earth is like 70% water.
Underwater, but it's still here, right? Does one of us have to beat him to get him to leave?
Probably.
If you want me to fight him, I'm happy to. But I
So,
don't know.
who here's good at video games?
I mean, I'm okay.
Oh my god, I think he just unlocked Sagittarius. What? No way! She's a rare character! I know!
I mean,
These are computers, right?
yes,
You're a computer? Can you do computer things?
I can
Yeah,
try.
hack the system or something.
Well, that's...
Can you talk to the computer to make him lose?
I don't know, do you talk to mushrooms?
Yes.
Are you implying that Elle's a mushroom?
What?
I really don't. I'm just gonna, like, walk up. Actually, does anybody have any quarters? I don't keep as much loose change as I should.
I got some.
Alright. Yeah, I'll go walk up to face Narsus.
Alright, so you walk up, there's a queue, unfortunately, of people coming in, but when they see you, they give space. Basically, at this point, everyone is too afraid to challenge Narsus to a duel. And seeing you come down, he turns up and goes, "Ah! At last, you joined me! Come take a seat! I want to see what it is you have. I'd like to... Is Seth here? Is Seth here? Wait, is Seth here?
He's now hiding.
Is Seth? Oh, okay, it's fine. It's fine. You can sit down, Rekken. I'm sure I'll be fine. I'm Olivia. Yes, that's your name. Olivia.
Yes.
Olivia.
Rekken is a fantastic superhero, I know.
I know, me too. What's important is that if you think you're going to beat me in a game that I clearly am the superior in, you've got another thing coming. Let me show you all the skills I learned down in Montreal. I hope you know your option selects.
I have never played this game before, but I will try.
Oh, it's very simple. You see, okay, so what's important, right, is that there's 3 zones you need to worry about. The close zone, then the faraway zone, and then nearby zone. This way to put it down to your attacks, the character you're picking depends on what area of FCs they want. If they're grappler, for example, they're going for grapples. If they're more of a zoner, they'll keep spacing going through. If you pick, for example, Galahad is a zoner. He keeps away from his sword, and keeps off. He doesn't have many options selected, but he doesn't have shield, which basically acts as like a blockage counter. Whenever you do any kind of attack, it gives him armor or super armor when he's going through his special moves. Is this making any sense to you?
Yes. I'll download the rulebook to the game.
Listen, okay, why don't you pick a Shoto character, okay? Here's Sledge. You play Sledge, I'll play Galahad. I'm perfectly fine.
Actually, is Cyclone in the thing?
Cyclone is on the thing. He's one of the extra unlockable artists. And he's known as Cyclone. It's young Cyclone. So no non-bearded Cyclone.
Oh my god, I'm gonna play non-bearded Cyclone.
He goes, oh, that's a bit of a tricky pick. He's a bit of a hard character. Are you sure you want to?
Well,
most of his rolls are towards, so you won't get automatic block on things, but if you want, sure, I mean, it'll be fine.
we got this.
I'll leave it. I will leave it in your capable hands. Who should I try? Oh, Flexer, alright.
Oh god.
Okay. So, Rekken, describe how you played the game you've never played before.
So this is like one of those retro arcade machines, right?
Yeah.
Alright, so I'm gonna look at the moves, like all of the buttons and what each one does, and try and formulate a fighting algorithm. Like he's literally fighting CPU.
I love it. Okay, unleash your powers.
Oh no. Oh wait, actually. Oh wait. Oh. Yeah, never mind. Do I have influence over him? Does that work? No, I don't.
Yeah, not in this case, no, because you're basically forming a logic for him to fight. Alright, you can make it temporary and unstable, which would mean that you will put up a good fight, but you lose. You can mark a condition, and you will win. It's that simple. Because I'm not about to make this entire game a fighting game.
We're in it to win it. I'm marking angry.
Yeah! In that case, please describe how Cyclone, using your elite hacking the planet skills, are able to make Cyclone beat a possible world champion.
Okay.
What's called League Fighter Infinite.
Second thing second. I did not hack the game. I just, was intelligent. And I'm gonna see, like, as soon as I get up close to him after he loses, I'd be like, I guess he can't win against the computer after all. But I guess unleashing a bunch of, like, nanosecond reaction shots that, like, are not possible for regular human hands, I guess.
There's a bit where you grab him, throw him across the room, then teleport behind him. Nothing personnel kid is like the special code you use, and then you grapple him again, then you throw him down, and then you summon. You're basically halfway through doing that. You're literally doing your ultra, and he sort of just wide jaws it. It goes, whoa, and he just turns towards you afterwards, like, I concede defeat. You are the superior. Is that even physically possible? Man, what would Daigo do in this situation? I surrender. He gets up and goes, I fully surrender. You have the right of way. I surrender the arcade machine to my better Olivia. And people are like, whoa! And he sort of takes a deep breath and goes, that was good fun. Is it just you? Just you? Are we ready to go?
No, the others are over there, and I'll point to our non-conspicuous group of, wary travelers.
And he shall stride across the room towards Elle, and as he gets towards Elle, he, like, gives a short bow, and he extends a hand for a handshake. But one of those, you know that, like, manly handshake they had in Arnold Schwarzenegger's The Predator? With that angle? Yeah, like, Derek, you son of a bitch. Like, he puts his hand out like that to shake your hand.
I'll take it.
And he, like, takes the grip and then he tightens his hand, knowing that you will match it, but doesn't go any further than that. He's not gonna be rude. It's good again to see you, Sir Knight.
Likewise, Your Majesty. That was a good match.
Obviously, I was not expecting you all to be such expert league fighters. In fact, it was a little odd. But I'm pretty sure you did an animation cancel there. But more importantly, it's good to see you. I'm glad you're coming with me. I am not going to lie. I'm unsure as to how this meeting is going to be. But hopefully my practice and what I've learned so far from that game should tell me everything I need to know. And then he goes, and may I ask who you are? And then he gives a bow towards you, Enchantress.
Hi, I'm Lily.
It is a pleasure to meet you, Lily. I am Prince Narsus of Montreal.
Nice to meet you. Is bowing customary? Should I be bowing right now?
There's no need to bow. This is your land. It is I that needs to bow to you. At the very least, I should learn courtesy and not being rude.
Okay.
And then he turns towards Kat and he goes, Seth.
Oh.
So,
And then he walks on. He goes outside, and as he goes outside, y'all can hear this whole thing going down. You know how it is. I know why I put that accent on. You can hear like a what's not lights, like a shimmering sound outside outside the arcade, and as he steps out, Sledge is there to greet you.
Well,
She looks at you. She goes, "Hey, big team, how's it going?"
hi, Sledge.
Good day, Sledge.
Don't
Nods
think
in
we've
her
met.
direction.
You're he says, pointing to Lily. You're
No, it's fine. Nice to meet you.
nice to meet you too. You're Seth, right?
Yeah, we,
Crossover's kid.
sure.
Staying at our house, right?
Yeah,
Cool.
think we've met before.
Okay. Well, let's get the formalities out of the way. Big team, Prince Narsus. As representative of the League of Heroes, I would like to formally invite you to come on board the Watchtower, to see all you would like to see upon the Watchtower, and to negotiate and discuss the events of what's happened and transpired in the last 2 weeks. Do you accept? And Prince Narsus looks forward and bows, nods, and goes, "I accept, according to the terms that we agreed." Excellent. In which case, could everyone please step next to me?
Where is this watchtower? I haven't seen a lot of towers since coming here.
She takes a deep breath and goes, "You're about to find out."
Very well.
Oh, guys, give me 1 second.
Sure.
Please stop. Paper's been stuff, by the way. All right. And she asks you all to stand close, and then she looks up towards the sky, and she takes a deep breath, and she goes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to beam up. And then you hear radio going, you don't actually have to say that. You can't just tell me. It's not really, I don't know why everyone, oh, fine. A light engulfs you. And as you stand there, you feel your feet slowly start to rise from the earth. And then, just like that, you are zoomed into the air. You have a lovely shot of all 5 of you with Sledge flying up through the light away from Halcyon City, rising higher and higher and higher, higher and higher until you hit the atmosphere. Then you break past the atmosphere. And right there's a beautiful moment where all 4 of you with the other 2 are floating in space, guided by this almost like light track that glides you all the way through. And that is the moment where the credits come onto the screen. So like big team, all aboard the Watchtower, word there, as you all slowly move through space on this light. Sledge, of course, is in there, and she has a big grin on her face. She's like, "Wee! How do the rest of y'all feel?" Okay.
And you nearly died in space, I think? Yeah. Um, I've been in space before. I'm a little worried about not having a spacesuit on, so I guess I'll summon my armor. But otherwise, I think I'm good.
How about the rest of you?
We're just straight up floating in space.
Yeah, you're like moving through this light, and you're leaving the planet. It's like it's super quick, but it's slowed enough so we can have a lovely moment where you can all just see space.
Oh, probably very enthralled. Although I think at first, the height is not so great.
Prince Narsus, I'm sorry, Enchantress, did you have anything you wanted to say?
No, yeah, she's also just like, cool.
Prince Narsus is just standing there looking out at the planet with his jaw like wide open, and he's staring at the stars, and he's staring at the planets, and he sort of like leans up towards the white light and just looks down towards it, and he's just enthralled and staring. And Sledge is watching him quietly with a soft smile on her face.
Have you been to space before, Your Majesty?
I've never. It's so blue. I mean, I know the waters are what guide us, and the waters are what we need to live and breathe. But I never thought, I'd just see what it looked like from the outside. That's all. I wish my brother could see this.
I won't mention what I would do if your brother was here.
No, not Titus. Gaius would love this. Gaius loves everything. Yeah. And then you see him like realize what he's saying, and he composes himself, and he looks over, goes, "Sorry, are we there yet?" And Sledge goes, "Almost." The light comes on through, and it comes to this like floating satellite in space. It's this long tube, a circle around it, which is spinning to, I don't know, maintain gravity or some shit. I don't fucking know how space works, whatever. And as the beam of light comes through, it goes through the building onto what looks like a platform, almost like Star Trek style, with beams of light sticking out everywhere. And the four of you appear along with Sledge and Narcissus on it. As it goes. Sledge takes a deep breath and goes, "Was that not amazing?" What? What? It's space. What's wrong with space?
Mm-hmm. Lily was just like nodding so much, like, uh-huh.
Are you okay, Olivia?
I mean, this is pretty good, right? No, is this not? Oh, okay. And basically she stands there and basically just taking a look into everything and staring on land. You see someone walking up to you. Oh, hold on a second. I got the notes right because I make sure it's written correctly. Give me a sec. I don't want to say something that they're not, and then accidentally have to like recap the whole thing later. Sorry guys, I have to make sure I follow the notes. Otherwise I'll get yelled at by Siege.
Also, OBS is not letting me unmute, so I think I just was muted for the last 10 seconds.
Oh, great. Excellent. That's fantastic. I'm really glad that's the thing that's happened to you. Having a good time.
Technical issues.
Technical issues. Oh, where the hell is this?
So, back to our sponsor.
Alright, give me a minute. I'm almost there.
Daddy Jack's Pizza.
Alright, as you all come zooming in, and there's a lovely little moment where she steps up, walking up slowly towards you, a big smile on his face, is someone you all recognize that you're all quite used to. Godspeed takes a step forward and looks at you all. And he looks up forward and goes, "Prince Narsus, Sledge, big team, welcome to the Watchtower." And as he says this, there's a bit of a clap behind him as you see other heroes who are in the area have also come on board. There's quite a few of them scattered about behind. You recognize a few people here and there. You can see the silencer in the corner who's like waving at you all from the corner right there. But then when you look again, he's just magically disappeared again like he always does. And he goes, "We will be your guide through here, and we're here to show Prince Narsus a lovely, exciting meeting before we have our own personal meeting with him. We hope this isn't too forward or too much for you." That was direct to you guys.
Well, it's quite a reception.
Only the best for one of our most promising team members, even those of you who aren't part of us, and also for the Prince of Montreal. Would you like me to show? Oh, sorry, go after you. Go on.
I was expecting a tower.
You are in a tower. It's just a tower that stretches down. And he tries to like indicate with his hands, and he realizes that's completely wasted time, and he goes, "You know what? It's a figure of speech."
Of course.
How are you so far? Was your trip all right? You feel
Yes. How do you... I was told, and in my experience, you need a spacesuit when you're in space. Seen the effects of not having a spacesuit in space. It's not nice.
Well, fortunately for us, the Saboteur, before he became the Saboteur, happened to build a transportation system for us. This is how we get about when we're not having to fly through machines and other things like that. We normally reserve it for actual League members, but in this case, we figured we'd make an exception to give you a good ride. Also, the Flexer, and a guy walks on in. You see him come in. He's got like the Flexer's got like a mix of colors, and he's got like on his chest. He's got what looks like you know those things they pump glue out of.
A hot glue gun?
Like, yeah, I think it's like called a glue. I'm not quite sure what it's actually meant to be called. Oh, one second. I just got to something.
Yeah.
Oh no,
He's
it's a Flexer
MIA.
AMI. This is why I was like, put it in the notes, people. Oh, damn it. I'll take it out a bit. Sorry, guys. I could kill someone.
Oh, wait. Uh-oh.
Ah, god damn it. Okay, let's switch. Let's just have God's features be on his own. Sorry, guys, I apologize.
Sorry.
I'll take it back.
Communication.
Communication. Fucking when I say put the notes in the goddamn notes, make sure it's in the notes. As the Moscow goes, because it goes, fortunately for us, the Flexer was responsible for funding and keeping this whole thing running, and this is why we have this building as it is. We hope it's not too much of a surprise for you. Now, would you like to be shown around?
Enthusiastic nodding.
Same.
Yes.
Very, like, on the verge of vibrating.
Oh, excellent. Well, we have plenty of places to show you. We have a good range. We have the main meeting room, which is our end with. We have our hangar. We have our hydroponics room. We have an aquarium. We have the private quarters for each and every single member of the Corps. You're allowed some of them, but not all of them. We have a training room. We have a danger room, just like the one you have on your base. And we have everything else as well. It's entirely up to you where you wish to go and how you wish to see it.
Wow.
I personally think our trophy room is the most important room. But there's a lot of things to see and a lot of things to do.
Can we go everywhere? Except for the danger room.
The danger room is also allowed to you. There shouldn't be anyone using it today.
Good.
I don't see
If you wish to split up, you're more than welcome to. And you see Narsus left his hand and goes, I'd like to see the aquarium if that's alright.
I will accompany the prince.
Yeah, it's probably best if we stick together.
We're all in this together.
The prince goes, no, you don't have to. This is... And he sort of stops and goes, can I have a moment with them? Is that alright? And goes, like, absolutely, no problem whatsoever. And he comes up to you all and he's like, just so you know, you don't have to come with me. You don't always have to be watching my back. I understand that, but don't you all have your own thing you'd like to be doing? I mean, you don't get to come to this base very often, right?
This is my first time here.
That's fair. How about the rest of you?
I mean, yeah, I didn't even know this place existed, so...
Ditto. But I've also never met you before, so why not all the new things at once?
Alright then. Well, in that case, I think we should one by one. How about we all pick one thing we'd like to see, and then we can all go check it out. I would like to see the aquarium.
Your safety is my responsibility at the moment, though.
And your excitement and joy is mine. At the very least, let me make sure at least one member of the big team is having a good time. Where would you like to pick?
I'd like to see the danger room.
All right, danger room for one. Olivia?
Nothing bad could.
Reckon?
Haha, you're right, yeah. Nothing bad could possibly happen in the danger room, so let's check it out.
All right, so that's 2 for the danger room. We've got the aquarium. We've got the danger room. Anything else? There's the hydroponics for seeing alien fauna, for one thing. We have the armory. We have the promenade for ceremonies, which I believe will be too far up. We have the monitor room for checking out anything else we need and seeing the computer networks that go across the town in various areas and keeping track of where each and every single person is.
Oh.
I think the danger room's good for me.
Yes, but that's 2 locations. We still need maybe 2 more.
The trophy room sounds neat.
Trophy room? The armory, perhaps?
All right, so
I'd be very curious to see what kind of armaments they have.
And if we could use them.
Narsus leans and goes, "Do you think they'll let us steal something?"
Hopefully.
All right, so aquarium, danger room, trophy room. What's the last one?
Well, the fauna seems really interesting. I've never seen alien creatures. I've never seen them in containment before.
Well then, we'll do that. I believe that's in the, what they call it again? Hydroponics?
Hydroponics was plant.
Ah. I don't think they had one for fauna. I think it was just that. I don't really know what some of your words don't translate well.
I'll go see alien plants though. That sounds neat.
Yes,
All right, then.
I would imagine you would like to see the plants.
Well then, let's do it one by one. We'll start with the aquarium. So he turns up and he goes, "Godspeed, please lead the way. Would like to see the aquarium, the danger room, the trophy room, and your hydroponics.
Hydroponics.
All right, let's go." So he starts to lead you through and he starts to walk up and keeps going. And he starts basically spieling off the information going. The League of Heroes is what we are. We formed when we realized that a threat could come up that we may not be able to stop. This basically is what happened after Montreal fell. Our Montreal, but not necessarily your Montreal, Prince Narsus. We realized that at some point, Hero 1 would no longer be there to save us, and that we would have to find a way to save ourselves. As such, over the course of the years, the League of the Heroes formed. We've had members come and go here and there. We've had admission change over and over. We take on any vigilantes or anyone else who is deemed in the... Now you sort of pause for a second. Not that we take every single person we see on. We just take on those who are righteous and believe in the same ideals as we do. A lot of people are not members of the League, but work with us, such as, for example, the Silencer, who is fantastic for communication and information, all that. Or most of the heroes from Halcyon City, who are happy to work with us. In fact, Sledge was also a hero that used to work with us beforehand. But this is what we've got. Any questions?
Questions. Galahad is a member of the League, correct?
Yes, Galahad joined our team after the fall.
Is Percival?
He sort of paused and goes, Percival's odd. Percival is more than welcome to become part of the team. We will gladly have him at some point. It is not that we're saying that he is unworthy. It's just Percival and us have never really... He sort of pauses and looks up as he's trying to watch his words as to what he says. I believe usually the phrase you want to say is one night of the round is usually enough.
Oh. That's not a phrase I've ever heard before.
It is one that we've had to use quite a lot when it comes to recruitment.
Oof.
there are a lot of knights around who are very worthy of being up here, and we don't always get a chance to choose lightly. Sir Galahad brought a very interesting proposition, and that he would be the representative of the knights around for us to them, which both keep us in contact with both you, the spirit world, and also Halcyon City.
I see. Hmm. That's the only question I had.
Anyone else?
Uh,
No?
How many members would you say are a part of the league?
Well, by all accounts of things, we keep a roster of about 12. 12 start off to be the real members of the league. Junior members, I believe you already know yourself, we recruit amongst the young and capable who are good and feel like they serve a good and just cause when it comes to being heroes, as well as people and everyone who may or may not decide to apply to be here. We do take applications if they believe to be some kind of worthy. Along the globe, if we count every hero who works with us, we number the hundreds. But that number comes and goes every now and then. Not everybody feels the need to be part of the heroes.
Interesting.
Which is a very interesting moment because I'd like to show you something. So as the door opens up, you basically start walking on a dark, like basically your feet tap what looks like glass that you're walking on as you keep going forward. And then as you get to about the center of a darkened room, the lights turn on. You realize you're in this kind of like observatory where you can see above you space in all of its glory. It's a lovely massive open window that stares out into the stars across the world, across the galaxy. World? What's wrong with me? There's a lovely moment where you see the Earth slowly coming to view. Of course, you also don't have to worry about the sun burning your eyes or some shit, because that's weird. But what's more important, it's what's beneath your feet. As you all stand on this lovely sheet of glass and you look down, you can see underneath you is just water stretching down for what looks like maybe like a good 300 feet. It's a lovely, massive ball of water. You can see plants and fish of different types moving about. Some of them are large enough to be humanoid. Some of them are quite small. And then as he continues, he goes, "We had a moment where there was He sort of pauses. We had a member join us from a distant planet that was mostly aquatic. As such, we had to have a place for them to meet delegates from their planets as we began the kind of negotiations. As such, the Flexer decided to build this aquarium for them. Would you like to go inside?"
Wow.
Narsus is like, "Yes!"
In the water or just in the aquarium?
He lifts up a hand, he reaches up and taps the air. And as he taps the air, a glass sheet basically comes up from the ground and covers all of you, and then sinks slowly below the surface of the glass. And then, just like that, you're submerged in the water. The glass keeps you dry and keeps the water out, but you could basically have this beautiful, like, sunken aquarium tube that goes deeper and deeper and deeper and gives this beautiful panoramic view of the water around you. Prince Narsus is just like standing there going, "Wow.
Ooh.
Okay, I wasn't expecting that."
Wowzers.
It's like-
It's beautiful.
There's a bit where, like, what basically looks like a mermaid swims up towards where you are, looks over at the whole thing, and then taps on the screen. And as she taps on the screen, you see, like, what looks like a Wi-Fi symbol pops up. And she goes, "I am Miridith of the planet Skadon, and I wish you greetings, big team."
Greetings.
Ooh.
Hi.
You have a fantastic blue planet that we're definitely not trying to conquer.
What?
I mean, we're not trying to take over. I mean, It's a lovely planet. It's very blue.
It is.
Sorry, my translator is not working well. I'm sure that's what the problem is.
Lost in translation. Ha ha ha.
And then she swims around and she's like, would the prince like to go for a swim? If it's not too much trouble. Hopefully the waters here will be to their tasting. And the prince gives like Godspeed that look that children get when they want to get something really much. It's like the wide eyes and the
Puppy dog eyes.
puppy dog eyes, and he's like, oh, go on then. So he goes touch the glass. So he touches the glass, and then the glass molds around him, and then just like that, he's in the water. And Meredith swims up next to him, and she smiles at him, and he smiles at her, and then they just start swimming through the water around them. This beautiful, amazing view of them just going around as they go through it. As they're going through, Godfrey folds his arms, and he looks at the rest of you, and he goes, so report, how's he been so far?
He's been doing fine at school. He's been living at our base, which I believe is going fairly well as well. As for the meeting at Zodiac City, I believe you have gotten probably numerous reports about how badly that went.
I think that's an understatement of the year. Who was there for that? You two?
I was, and Rekken.
Yep.
And Austin, have you updated Seth and Lily?
Yeah, I heard about it.
Nope, I've only just met him today. I don't super know what's going on.
Lily, you spend a lot of time, and your power basically allows you to interact with plants. That gives you a very interesting view upon the world itself at large, one that no one from the spirit world, nor someone who was recently born, nor someone who may possibly be having quite a few issues to deal with themselves would see. What do you think of the prince so far?
I mean, it seems, maybe not normal, but alright. I haven't really talked to him much either.
Has he changed his attitude since that meeting? He says this time to you other two. Has he changed his attitude since the meeting? Has he become more agitated? Has he spoken about it?
Not to me.
Well, as far as we've seen, it seems like he's gotten a lot better at integrating into society.
He looks over, he looks at you two, goes, I want to find something out before the meeting that we have with him and his people. I want to know where he lies when it comes to his loyalties.
Huh.
Make no mistake, we're still leaving all of this to the big team. We promised this to Cyclone, and it's only fair that we do this. And as always, I've been a very strong advocate of the big team in every way whatsoever. But I need to know that just in case something does go wrong, I want to be ready. Can you find out for me?
Yes.
What kind of something do you think might go wrong?
If the man is in charge of possibly a world that requires the tree to live, all of Zodiac might be in danger. If it's all the same to you, I have had enough of trying to keep that place saved. I want to ensure that it never goes to that trouble anymore, any more than it already has. I do not want to, however, put an entire species of people under threat. I want to make sure there's a peaceful solution. We all do. And currently, the best way to make that peaceful solution is to get that man on our side and keep him there. If Prince Narsus were to turn and decide that Zodiac City isn't worth saving and his land is more important, then we have a problem.
Narsus seemed to like Zodiac City when we were there, and despite the horror of the meeting, he seemed very opposed to his brother at the time.
I
Yes,
don't think he's ever seemed like he wasn't on our side.
that's what worries me. And before he can continue, you hear tap, 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 and Narcissus at the windows, like pointing at the voice thing, and he sort of goes towards it, and he's like, "Everyone, just come out, come see what it's like."
Okay.
Uh,
Can we go for a swim?
Godspeed looks at it, goes, can you all breathe in the water?
no.
I cannot.
If I turn into kelp, I might be able to.
He lifts up a finger to go, that's a bad idea. And he sort of stops about halfway there and sort of puts his hand, goes, you know what, don't worry about it. And Meredith goes, it's fine, I have this. And she stretches out and she extends her hands and she starts to sing a song. And as she sings a song, you all feel a bubble forming around your head. And the air just feels a little clearer. And then she goes, step into the water, please.
I will do so.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
As you all step into the water, you can all breathe underwater. What's called, as the water comes in towards you, it doesn't go around your head. It sort of floats above your head. So you have a bit of a view, like a viewing bubble of air around you. That's constantly moving and shifting. It doesn't give you perfect vision, but you don't need it. The water's fucking clear as shit. It's great. It's like swimming. It's like diving in Iceland or something. It's fantastic. However, some of you are wearing heavy armor.
Full plate armor.
So
Swim speed reduced by half.
So there's a lovely moment, right, where like we see Narcissus grab like enchantress. She grabs like you take like Narcissus reaches out for Lily's hand and takes it, and then they both start to swim around, and then Seth sort of, like dives into the water and he starts trying to make his way about. And then I'm assuming Annie isn't made of metal.
Well, she's extremely light, if that's what you're wondering.
Yeah, because you're like, you can stretch your body, so you can make your body the way you need to move the water. And everyone's on having a great laugh, and the camera pans down to the bottom of the bottom, which is just Elle standing there, just on her feet, because it's so heavy. Just like, with like, I don't know, maybe Elle's folding her arms, and she's just like, ugh, sucks. Or whatever you want to do, whatever you want to feel like. But you're just like down in the bottom, just cutting from you there, from the heavy armor you're wearing.
Mm-hmm. I guess I'll chill down here with the sharks and stuff.
Like
Oh
a
my
sea
God.
corgi like swims up to your leg and starts like nuzzling you or some stuff like that.
Aww.
Mhm.
And then Godspeed is sort of like, oh, right, we're running out of time. Come on, we have meetings to do. Everyone back in the square. I don't know why he's English. He just is now. Okay, I'm sorry. It's just the way he is. Cheerio, everyone. We'll have chemist for breakfast. Okay,
Oh my
so
God.
he starts to wave you all in. You see Narcissus is like doesn't actually want to go back. He's really enjoying the water. He's like swimming in it. He's bouncing up and down. He's sort of being like, "Great, this is amazing."
Can we have 5 more minutes? Please?
Make that 10.
Are you serious? Is this happening? Is this? He looks at his watch
Puppy
and he
dog
rolls
eyes.
his eyes. He rolls his eyes like, "Oh my god, fine." He goes, "I'll leave you all to it," and then he like floats up to the top. Let me see
No.
if I can arrange the danger room for you.
Oh God.
Oh yeah, shit! Oh,
Can I,
Meredith swim. Sorry, go on after you.
can I like make a light projection mermaid tail and like go swim down and try and like heave Elle up?
So you're like, are you holding her up on a platform in the water? So it's like
Sure.
she's just standing there, just
Sure.
enjoying the swimming.
Sure. At least she's not at the bottom.
At least she's not at the bottom. Also, Elle, is there any moment you want to like do something? Just let me know.
Mhm.
I kind of talked over you and put you at the bottom, but like if you want to actually do something, just say yes, you do it.
Yeah, I know. I will if I want to.
No props. Yeah, so Meredith is floating through and she's like, tell me more. She's like, tell us more about Montreal. Tell us how beautiful it is. And he's like, oh, it's amazing. The Senate keeps the place absolutely perfect. My father rules as emperor. It's an incredible place. You all should visit. It's just like this, but better.
Oh yeah? What's your favorite thing there?
He's like, oh, I couldn't possibly. No, I don't want to. I don't really want to say. I feel a bit awkward. This is not my moment. We're just having a moment with Mer. Where okay, I'll tell you the truth. Okay, so really, the greatest thing. I have a lot of things I love about my home, but the greatest thing that I absolutely cannot get enough of is the abyss. Maybe
Abyss.
apparently 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 years ago, there was rumors that there was a mighty warrior amongst my people. Us, the Aquilonians, had settled into Montreal and began to make it as incredible and awesome as possible. But there was always a divide between those of us who would want to go out and conquer and those of us who want to live in harmony. We fought upon days trying to figure out what it is we wanted to do, and one 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 single warrior one point decided that enough was enough. So he picked up his spear, he raised it up, and he split our land into two. One side was made of the people who wished to conquer, one was us who wished to make peace. The abyss still exists. It's a beautiful cavern that floats to that not floats that sits just on the outside of Montreal, and it leads off into nothing and beyond. But within it sparkles beautiful colors of red, blue, gold, green, yellow, brown, all of them. It's you have a thing here. Your northern lights?
Yeah.
It looks like that, but in the water?
Far beyond that. You don't exceed the abyss for what it is, because it keeps you away. I mean, after all, it's just water. You could just flip through it. But the minute you enter its presence, there's a soothing, gentling feel as these lights will envelop you and wrap you up, and then set you back upon the land that you're in. We used to be as kids, see how far we could go within the abyss. Titus always used to yell at us for trying it out, but Gaius would always make his way there and back. I don't even know if the rumor is true. If beyond the abyss that we live in, there really is an abyss of warrior conquering Aquilonians. But the abyss itself is something that's magical and an incredibly integral part of our world. All we wish for is that we keep that place as secure and safe as possible. Then you see him slowly start to get a little sad. And I guess that's kind of what I'm here for, isn't it?
Keeping Montreal safe.
Yeah. But
It
I'm sorry.
to me like that story and the abyss that you love is a story about the dangers of warmongering,
I know.
conquest.
I know, and you're right. It is a story about danger and warmongering and conquest. But if our land, if our land is being taken and destroyed, what are we to do? We can't just stand there and. I mean, no. What am I doing? That's what Titus would think. I believe in peace. I've always believed in peace. It's just, it's harder to understand and know what's going on when you have to choose between two worlds to save.
So, what would the ideal solution look like to you? Because
The ideal solution would be I get to come up to the surface more often and see you. Mostly you, he says, specifically ignoring Seth. Mostly you.
Out of character.
I love this planet. I love its people, and every time I see something up here, I find something new. Arcade machines are incredible. I'm just glad it's a wonderful world out there, but it's not mine. This water, this bit here, this is the first time I felt like I've been at home since I got here.
Yeah, that's kind of how traveling works.
And I want to keep that place safe. How am I supposed to choose between that? I've always seen Titus' side, and he's right. I have no right to stop this, but I have to try. Right?
I think so. There's I can I know where you're coming from with not having felt anything like home for a long time. Um,
Are you also away from your home as well, Al?
I am, yes.
Are you all as estranged from your families as I am?
Well,
I have a family here, but it isn't really mine.
And if you had to choose between your world to save and this one, what would you pick?
Mine?
He looks at you and he nods, fully understanding. He doesn't judge you. He doesn't question you. He doesn't have a go at you. He just nods. And for the first time ever that all of you have known him, you see him age, like his eyes age as he reaches a level of understanding about how the world work and what people want. Something you've said at this moment has changed him inside. At which point, the update here, and here, children, it's time to go. Come on. If you don't hurry up here, you don't get home for supper. And that's Godspeed talking. And Narcissus looks up and looks down, looks at you all, goes, "We should go."
Yes.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
You swim on up to the surface. Or in your case, Elle, you're carried up to the surface. Meredith waves goodbye to you and goes, "Come visit my planet soon, you'd love it!" And as you get on up, Godspeed helps you all out. As you reach the glass, he puts his hand down and he helps you all up out of the water through the glass. And he goes, "Right, towel yourselves off, everyone." And he passes you all towels. He doesn't pass one to Narcissus. Narcissus does that dog shake. And yeah, he's dry, it's fine.
I love him.
Shall we head towards the day? He looks head towards the day, he stops. And then he reaches his ear up and he's like, "Sorry, we took too long in here. Apparently we've lost our slots at the danger room."
Aw.
Oh,
Oh, darn.
It's fine, we can grab it after. So
Okay.
Oh.
in that case, we have options. Where should I go next? Trophy room of the prom or the hydroponics?
Hydroponics.
Well,
I
Well.
don't know what that means, but it sounds good.
in which case, let's have a change of scenes. Come on. And he gestures to you all to follow him as he carries on through. And as he's walking up, he continues his story. The greatest hero who ever stepped foot in this world that we know of is Hero 1, whom we all consider the first of our kind and the best of us. Hero 1 was someone who could do anything. Their skill, their ability, the charm they had, there was not much they couldn't stop. There wasn't much they couldn't fight back. Which is why when Montreal fell to the villain that shall not be named, it broke them. It made them different. It changed them inside, and it changed all of us. They realized that we had to have a league, and we realized that we needed to support them. Even Hero 1 couldn't do it alone. It's why the league formed in the first place, so we could have that bond between all of us. So we weren't constantly fighting ourselves. And so I pause and goes, "Do you ever get that moment where one of you thinks the other one is saying the wrong thing, and then you end up in a fight, and it's a mess, and it's horrible?"
Uh,
And then
Yeah.
after maybe a day or two, someone corrects the whole thing, and then you're best friends afterwards.
I guess.
Good, because someone please give me some tips, because Galahad is still staring at me. I didn't mean to punch him.
Well,
Galahad is like that.
Is he like that in your world?
I mean, mine is a teenager, so I kind of expected him to grow out of it.
you hear the visible sigh from Godspeed. It's like, oh. And then rolls his eyes. Clearly a man who has been jaded far too much by the events of this world to even remotely have time for this shit. As you start to walk up, the temperature starts to pick up. You feel yourselves getting warmer. And you feel something like filling you, like some kind of heat's boiling within you. For those of you who are heat sensitive, you would definitely feel uncomfortable in your stuff. I don't know if your armor keeps the heat out, Elle, but if it does, then you're good. If it doesn't, y'all sweating. And those of you who have ice powers are starting to cool off.
Starting to simmer,
Like,
perhaps?
whoa, boy! As you walk into what looks like this, almost like you walk into what basically comes into a room that seems to have its own miniature sun sitting up above it. Within this room, there is a lovely looking greenhouse of plants and not animals, just plants scattered about the area with different fruits growing off it, other things here and there as well. There's no one in this room this time. But you can see scattered about the area just multiple plants everywhere. And it's like on layers. So like it's almost like a library of plants. Almost like stretches of or like shelves that have other plants growing on it, some of them growing around it, and then like a plant ladder up to the next floor that has the same thing as well. And as he walks in, he gestures up towards basically the girl just gestures up towards everything, goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome to Hydrophonics Room. I hope this isn't too much."
This is awesome! Are these alien plants? Are all of these terrestrial? Where did these come from? Like, Lily is
Well,
like,
I'm pretty sure that's terrestrial. That's terrestrial. I grabbed that one from my desk this morning, and I forgot to bring it. I had to bring it back because I was told not to keep that. Everything from layers 4 to 6 is terrestrial. Everything from layers 8 to 10 is extraterrestrial. We have he sort of rolls eyes and goes, "The caretaker of this room, Sagittarius, isn't here today. They are too busy doing a specific mission, but it's their job to ensure that we keep this place fresh and lovely so they can experience it. And sometimes grace."
Awesome. Can we just roam around for a bit? Is that okay?
Please, go for it. Absolutely feel free. Enchantress, how does your powers work?
I'm not super sure, but sometimes I just think I want to be that plant, and then I am.
Oh, I think that's fantastic. All right. So, okay, let's do this correctly. Usually, when you turn into a plant, you have specific things that you reach out for to grab. At no point do plants turn towards you and go, "Pick me, pick me, pick me, pick me." That's kind of what's happening in this room.
Oh.
The plants are like you as you walk in, you can feel this like tonal shift in the way that they're behaving towards you specifically. They're sort of waving back and forth, almost like a waving actual like hello kind of way. Some of them almost like bouncing back around when they come around you. They don't do that for anyone else, but just for you in this room, the plants respond to you.
Oh. Yeah. Okay. I'm just gonna go up and talk to like every single one, just like, oh, hello, where are you from? What kind of plant are you? What? Oh, just like she's like just saying hello to every single thing in this room, and also
They're
just
like, "Hi,
enjoying
I'm Ameria. I love the sun. Hi, I'm Lynn. I love 2 suns. Hi, I love 4 suns. Hi, I'm Odysseus. I love 6 suns and a moon that goes around me. Hi, I'm Odysseus. I'm horribly depressed and I wish I had less sun. It's really bad. The sun is really dark for me. Just kidding. I still love the sun. The sun is great. Yay!" It's just like that all the way through.
I also love the sun. Ah,
Isn't it great? We love it. It keeps us fresh. Except for the dark ones.
okay, but they can't help that.
And you look to the side and you can see the equivalent of like the cool kids sitting underneath the shade, being all like, "Yeah, we don't need the sun. We're too cool for that. Nah,
Oh.
sun's for losers. We like the shade." Yeah. Gotta stay cool, gotta stay fresh, gotta stay dry. Bring on the night sky. And then in your head, the equivalent of West Side Story is playing towards these plans. For everyone else, they're all like, "What are you doing?"
I'm
Just
going to go
looking around.
towards where the shady plants are, and I'm
Uh-huh.
going to sit down with the shady plants.
For some unexpected reason, somehow you don't know how you feel this, Elle, but you feel right at home
I thought so.
underneath the shade right there. You're just like, for some reason, this was great. And enchantress, you see that the plants are just like shuffling towards her in a sort of like odd way. Only you see this. They're not actually shuffling, but they move the leaves in a way they're going, yeah, we accept this person. They're cool. They can come down with the cool armor. They're kind of cool. And you feel nice and cool down there. So that's a cool bad breeze. Narcissus is sort of like great.
What's wrong with you?
Nothing. He looks towards you, goes nothing. Why?
Thinks that actually smirks at him. That's a pretty big sigh.
Am I not allowed size? Do you judge my size? Are you allowed to judge my size?
Usually that means something's wrong.
Well, I'm fine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine. Would you like to pierce the mask?
Oh my god, sure.
I'm fine, Babaka.
I will get at least 2 rolls out of you people. All right, ask me one question.
Oh, god, we pulled the list. Okay.
Do put me.
Oh boy. How can I get your character to tell me what's up?
You can try. Basically, if you goad him, he will bring it up. You can tell he's not in the mood to talk to you, but if you're like, "Yeah, chicken," he might just go. Don't actually do that. Don't do
Call
that.
him a fish fillet.
If you goad him, he will tell you what's up.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think Seth just looks at him and is just like, you too good to talk to me now or something?
I didn't say that. Do you think you're too good to talk to me?
Well, no, because I'm trying to talk to you.
Well, maybe I just don't feel like talking to you.
Fair.
Seth, you gotta go a bit more than that. Come on, man. You could be like, "Hey, you suck." Okay, that's fine, I guess.
That's literally how he is, though. But maybe he says under his breath, alright, be tuna then.
I'm sorry? What?
Mm.
Excuse me?
What?
For your information, I simply don't like rooms that are too hot and too dry. This place is a little hot, it's a little dry, and I'm uncomfortable. I am a sea creature. I live in the ocean. I live in a place called Montreal, which is currently under the ocean, where I live, which I like, and it's nice, and it's wet, and it's not dry, unlike here. And also, I don't need that sass from you, of all people.
I think Seth is actually smiling.
Don't you smile at me. I heard what you said to her.
What?
It's nothing. Don't worry about it.
Wait, whoa, hold on. You heard what? I said what?
You simply tried to get Rhiannon to skip school because I'm not good enough. apparently.
Huh. Wait, you heard that?
Yes,
That's
I
not
was
what I
right
said.
there. That's exactly what you said. I was standing there. I heard you say it.
What?
And I have
No,
you know,
that's not what I said
you
at
should.
all.
And also, while we're on the subject, you should be involved in my business, all right? What's between me and the Morrigan is between us. I don't need you butting in.
Looks slightly ticked off. Alright, first of all, I only said that you needed to figure out what the hell you wanted her to do, because that's what you yelled at her for? Pretty unfairly, at that.
And
And
I need
second of
you.
all, I'm Ria's friend, so her business is kind of my business.
Well, maybe
Especially
you
when
should
it has
go
to do with
ask.
jerks like you.
Oh, well, maybe you should go ask Rhiannon how she feels about how dry it is in here, instead of sitting around making bad comments about it all the time. I don't particularly need you to guide me around. I'll be perfectly fine.
Seth looks a little frustrated. Why do I feel like everything I'm saying is going through a filter?
You know what? How's this for a filter? I challenge you to a duel.
Oh my god.
His face just drops. A duel.
Yes, it's a danger room, right?
Looks slightly ticked. Alright, fine. You're on.
Deal. He looks around and goes. He looks towards you all. Goes, we'll need a judge. And he looks towards the third senior volunteer.
I have judged a couple duels in my time.
There it is. Elle shall be our judge. And when this is over, you will not mention me or Rhiannon ever again.
Then what do I get out of it?
Whatever you want. Pick your choice.
Servitude.
Nods.
As per his eternal servitude.
Yeah, you're on. Let's go.
You didn't actually ask what you wanted, or are you gonna wait till after?
I'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Which I'm sure we will.
I assure you, I have never lost a duel to a simple peon such as yourself. No amount of strength or jumping or whatever it is that you do specially is going to stop us. Stop me,
Well,
my bad.
We'll see about that.
Godspeed? And Godspeed's sort of standing there like, what? We request to use your danger room for a duel. That's not what it, In his head, he's like, these fucking kids, oh my god. Give him full reign. Duel it is! And goes, Lily?
Yep.
We have to go, I do apologize. You're welcome to stay and enjoy the plants if you wish, or you will have to come with us to the duel.
Oh, okay, I'll come watch the duel. She is just so sad. Just like slumped, just like, oh, do we have to leave?
Like, don't go, don't leave, goodbye.
Are there any small plants that are like easily concealable?
Yes.
Okay. Can I try
wait, okay.
taking one?
Yeah.
Yes, you can. How are you doing it?
Are you watching closely?
Oh my fucking god, why do you even have that move?
Because I'm
Okay.
struggling.
Roll it, I guess.
Superior 3.
Why do you have superior 3?
It's locked at 3.
Oh my god. Okay, so what happens?
I'm a narcissistic little robot.
Good.
Alright, I'll avoid further entanglement by A, literally not getting entangled in the plants, and B, not getting entangled with Godspeed and the League of Heroes after stealing a potentially alien plant.
I think that's fair.
I'll get an opportunity, and I guess I'll use the opportunity to give it to Enchantress. And then...
You don't need to do that. I'll give you that for free.
Okay. Well, I mean, because there aren't really any other reasons I would have To pick others?
No, there's an opportunity in this room. You just don't know it yet.
Oh, okay, I'll take that opportunity then, and I'll expose a weakness or flaw. Probably their security, because, just let some dumb teenagers take alien plants.
I think that's fair. You realize that the plants aren't catalogued, and they're all basically listed up within the area. There's no actual physical catalog whatsoever. You avoid figure entanglement, so I'm not going to make a bad thing happen, but you get an opportunity. So when you pick up the plants for a second, just for a second, you pick it up, you move it from its spot. There's this weird sort of breeze that hits you. Annie, do you breathe?
She can.
But it's not necessary for you to live, right?
No.
Alright, so as you lift up the plant, for a second, you feel like you're floating in space.
Oh dear.
It's just for a moment, just for one single moment. You hear something. I mean, you shouldn't be able to hear anything in space, right? You should be able, it should be nothing there whatsoever. But you hear something, and it sounds... But as you turn around to see what it could possibly be, you're back in the room. And as you're back in the room, you see on the plant itself, there's a tag on it. And the tag basically reads, "You may have this one."
What in the...
Noise.
I'm gonna run over and kind of slip it to Enchantress.
I'm hoping you heard the...
Yeah, it's like galloping, right?
Yeah, galloping.
Yeah, galloping. Okay, that's what I figured.
Alright,
Alrighty then.
and yeah.
One fear. Cool.
And yeah, you got the plant. And you can go past the enchantress before you do the duel.
Yeah, I'm gonna do like the sneaky, like, very stereotypical, like, drug deal where it's like I open my coat all the way for the camera to see and then I pass it to Enchantress and then close my imaginary coat. I'm not wearing a coat.
You make a hard light coat.
I make a hard light trench coat that billows in the wind. And then I tip my hard light fedora at her and run off.
Alright. At this point, we're going to take a short break, because I need 5 minutes to catch myself up and ensure that I don't die, and we're halfway through the session. So please continue without me. Give me 5 minutes to get a drink, prepare myself, and then we'll do the duel, and then we'll do the final room, and then the session's over, so everybody's happy.
5 minutes to duel.
5 minutes to duel, alright? See you guys in 5 minutes. The peanut gallery is allowed to speak during this 5 minutes, and go.
Before the peanut gallery, I'd like to present our sponsorship, electrical tape. I have some electrical tape on my paper for no reason, because this used to be up on my wall. Alright.
I can't wait to kick his ass!
What's going on?
Oh my god.
I'm so happy this is happening, honestly.
I have so many fears.
I have a fear too, and that fear is losing, so I better fucking win.
I feel like I just caused like the timeline where Narsus gets killed by the League of
Oh
Heroes.
god.
Oh, you mean like with what you told him and like the like
Yes.
you noticed a change? I was like, oh no!
Yeah.
Oh fuck! I mean, I was just being honest, but oh my god! I'm gonna die.
Yikes.
I'm gonna die. Jadis is going to die. Also, what the fuck is with what's with the flower?
I mean, that's probably just Sagittarius. That was probably just Sagittarius, because Sagittarius was like the caretaker of the thing, and it was a horse, and Sagittarius is sometimes depicted as a horse, like a centaur.
Yeah, he's a centaur. But
Yeah.
like, wait, was it like a flower that you guys brought back? Or I'm sorry, I don't remember.
No, it was a flower that Rekken stole.
Yep.
Right, I heard that. Oh wait, You're just talking about like stole from the league just now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I missed the Sagittarius part wherever that happened.
It was when I was getting all tripped up as the flower entered flower gas.
Okay, so it wasn't anything before that. You're just assuming Sagittarius because of the hoofbeats and.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And also, like, you may have this one. Sounds like it was coming
Right?
from the caretaker. Like, okay, sure, you can have this one.
Oh my god, the caretaker knows I stole from the League of Heroes. They're never gonna let me join now. Oh, why did I have to go with my stupid superior?
I like that it just put a note. It's like, yeah, you can have. It's like, I'm letting you have this, and I want you to know that I'm letting you have this.
Man,
Good job, Andrew. Good job.
I'm gonna whisper under my breath. I could catalog this whole system for you in under 8 hours.
So damn, they only have 12 members? I thought they had like 20,000.
Well, yeah, that's
Well,
probably
at
like.
least 12,
Really? They only have
12
12
primary members is what Godspeed said. Like they have a lot of. It sounds like they have like a lot of auxiliary, like just heroes that they're. Like that they team up with a lot, but it sounds like there's only 12 of the primaries.
Okay. So it's kind of like they're like the 12 are like the leaders.
Like a leadership council.
Like the face of the league.
Okay.
Right, it's like the original Justice League among Justice League Unlimited.
And also 20,000 members, probably including like janitorial staff. Like
I would imagine so.
They
like
know that many
doctors,
people.
contract.
Other contacts.
Yeah.
the Amazon delivery people.
Amazon Primal. Get your crime half off.
Daddy Jacks.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. Daddy Jax has become a staple in, what's it called? Earth.
Also, Kat, thank you for setting up a duel here.
You're welcome, and I just realized that I have 3 conditions marked, so this is gonna go well.
Oh no, someone's gonna have to give Seth a pat on the back.
Does anybody want to do like a quick confidence support for that?
Help me!
Motivational
One of us is
speech.
afraid.
Oh wait, I'm
I was
angry.
actually planning on it.
Honestly,
Thank
if,
you.
Pep talk.
regardless of whether Seth wins or loses here, respect. Definitely.
All right, Peanut Gallery,
I
mute the
need to
microphones.
win.
We're going in.
Get out of here. Okay,
All right, everybody cool?
that's our sponsors.
Excellent. All right, you start to make your way towards the trophy room. Not the trophy room, the danger room. Godspeed is walking behind and sort of looking over to, Rekken actually. And sort of as he's watching you all go through. Narsus is walking next to Seth, and he just give him the evil side eye. Fish side eye.
Seth is doing the same.
The
Right,
fish.
let's go, boy. Let's go, boy. Let's go, boy. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. Okay. And Godspeed is leaning forward, going. Is this the first duel you ended up with him again?
I think.
He goes. I'm surprised it's taken this long, to be honest. Honestly, I had to duel Galahad like the first second I met him. Don't even get me started on Lancelot.
I'm here.
I mean, sorry, I meant I was. Oh, this is so confusing. As you,
That's okay, I do like to duel.
I'm glad. I don't. It's nice as it is. I prefer just to win. And some people tend to take winning very seriously. Case in point, your, you know,
Me?
yes. It's not like says that he rubs his head like, I don't even know how to explain this. As you walk on up, getting closer and closer, enchantress, Rekken, would you like to say anything or do anything?
Yeah, so Michael gave me this or took this plant.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do I know you have this plant?
Well, it's not my plant, it's your plant now. Wink.
Okay, yeah, sorry. I wasn't sure if I heard that correctly because my ears are popping in and out.
Don't worry, I'm
Yeah.
congested as hell.
Pardon?
I'm congested as heck.
Ditto. So yeah, I'll just like be walking next to Rekken and kind of like just like whisper down like, I could probably just like turn. Do you want one of these also?
No, I'm fine. I've had enough of, plants. Yes. Yeah,
Not a fan.
well, I like trees, but, that plant
Oh,
in
what kind of
particular
trees?
is quite strange.
Is it?
No, it's
What's
perfectly
this plant
fine.
thing?
It's perfectly fine.
What does this plant say to me? Ecstatic.
I want nutrients and love.
Oh. Oh. Yeah, this one seems kind of clingy. But what kind of trees do you like?
Well, what are those? What are those big trees? Uh,
Sequoias?
Sequoias. I'm googling sequoia. I misspelled it. Yes, sequoias. Those are very big and very tall trees. I love those.
Hmm. That might be kind of. I'll see if I can make that work. Okay. But also, thanks for this. And then I'm just gonna like put it on me and almost like graft it onto myself
Nice.
so that it can have some nutrients.
It jumps in and it goes, "This is the best day ever!"
Oh my god.
I agree.
I love you, drug plant.
Alright, so you arrive outside what looks like a dome. Fairly large, surrounded with a good space between it. And you can see already that the space before it has like a viewing platform where basically you can watch everything from outside and control the controls of the danger room inside. It's kind of like the way yours is designed, but a little bit more high tech. And as you all basically slowly walk up, you can already hear the sounds of fighting and stuff going on inside. The view screen seems to end on flames everywhere as you walk up. And as you get closer, the flames dissipate and the room goes back to normal. And it goes, simulation over. Opening doors. A bit of smoke billows around the area, and sauntering out, although a little cranky, a little tired, and looking very, very worn out, is Galahad.
Of course.
Of course.
And he comes out, and he's breathing heavily, and he sort of pauses and looks around, and he looks at Godspeed, and he goes, I told you not to ensure that I wouldn't have to meet them. And Godspeed goes, they had a duel coming up, so I had to cut things early. I apologize. This isn't bad though, right? And Godspeed sort of looks at you all, then stops on Elle and goes, no problem at all. I'll be in my room. And he gets up, and you see him he walks off, he limps a little from his feet, and he steps out to the side. And
Is
go on.
there any hint of what he was fighting?
Unfortunately, the screen is blank. Unless you can hack computers, you're not going to be able to do it.
Elle tries to push some buttons, but doesn't really know how it works.
Yeah, you're like, ooh! And Godspeed's like, please don't play with that. It's not a toy. Come on, please.
Starts hitting the keyboard.
I know how to hack! And Godspeed escorts you in, goes, Elle,
Yes.
Seth,
Yes.
Prince Narsus, yes, step this way. And he pushes a button to open the doors. He goes to the computer and taps a few buttons, and inside the doors you can see what looks, for all intents and purposes, like a dojo. And he sort of looks at the dojo and cocks his head and goes, maybe we should brighten up a little bit. And he pushes a few buttons, and now the dojo is like has like waterfalls flowing around it in a really cool, awesome looking way. With the whole like you know that thing that lifts up and then drops and goes that took and then
Yeah,
lifts up again and goes
the bamboo shoot thing.
yeah and goes up again and goes took. Yeah, you can hear one of those going in. And then he gestures for all three of you to enter. Please, feel free to use it. I was hoping to show the building itself to make you see what it looks like.
This is very nice.
Thank you.
Do you have a robot person to work this like we do?
Usually yes, but we've taken to doing it ourselves. It's automated and voiced, so our AI takes over. In this case, I'll be controlling from my side. And he goes up and goes, good luck, both of you, and may the best man, fish, woman, or whatever you wish to be win. And he closes the doors behind you. Dook.
Seth, may I talk to you for a moment before we begin?
He looks a little surprised, but nods. What's up?
Just I'll take Seth over to one corner of the room so Prince Narsus can't hear.
Prince Narsus would not even like interrupt you. He'll give you a bow and respect, and he'll step to the other side of the room.
Have you dueled before?
Can't say I have, but I've been in a number of fist fights.
Okay, that's good. I mean, I know you're capable. Duels are a bit different from just fighting, though. And well, I wanted to give you a few tips, because I shouldn't say this as the judge, but personally, I'd want you to win. So generally, it helps to enter something like a meditative state. I don't know if you've ever done meditation.
I think he just blinks.
No, what?
Okay, well, do you ever find that when you fight, it gets really easy to completely stop thinking about anything else? Is there like a specific thing you can do to make yourself go into that state?
Oh, I guess it just kind of happens.
Good.
I have like
Good.
an autopilot, if that's what you're talking about.
I don't know what that word means, but that's what I want. So, good. Well, in that case, I think you're going to be good. Just keep your opponent in mind, and don't think about anything else. Keep looking at his feet. Generally, you can tell what someone's going to do from that. These things tend to be a bit more thought out than an actual fight, so people tend to telegraph more. And yeah, but mostly I just wanted to say that I know you can win this.
I think the tips of his ears are a little red and he just kind of nods. Yeah, gee, thanks.
I think that counts as the confident support. Make a roll.
I'll fucking try, bud.
You got
Please
this.
don't fail.
I think I have. Let's see. Yep, I have a -3.
Oh
Just
dear.
roll 12. Just roll 12. Just roll 12.
We have 3 teams.
No! Yeah!
We don't. I'm not gonna ask to roll for burn.
Listen. I have -2 mundane locked, and I am currently angry. So
Okay. Now check this out. Okay, check this out. Right. You give your speech to him, and you're 100% certain he's got it. Yeah. On point. Exactly as you want. You're pretty sure Seth's there. As you look over towards Narcissus, Narcissus is literally on in a lotus position, hands on his legs, calm, going, oh, and around him, you can see the air is changing from his and waves are coming around, and you can see small little versions of Narcissus literally doing fighting moves in the air, forming around him. And Elle, you look over at that and you're like, homeboy's gonna fucking lose. And you look at him and you're like, your face clearly goes, I have no confidence in you whatsoever. You are going to lose so hard. And Seth, that's what you see. She's like, Elle is like, I believe in you. And her face is like, you're gonna fucking die, boy. You're gonna die, Sethy. You're about to get your ass whooped. You're gonna get fucked up, but you're like, yeah. She has no faith in you. No one has any faith in you. I'm terribly sorry.
Alright, he's used to it.
I tried, Cat.
You did. Thank you.
You can hear the hymn that Prince Narsus is humming under his breath, and he gets up and he cocks his neck. And as he gets and cocks up his neck, his body stance has changed. The way he normally gets himself is that he's like free, happy-go-lucky, open. But now he stands with one foot in front of himself, the other one sideways behind him, giving him structure on his feet. One of his hands is behind his back, just above his waist, and the other hand he puts forward to get free to come forward. His stance, Elle, you're looking at it. There are no openings. This is what could possibly be a master duelist in your place where you are. Also, as you get closer, he takes a deep breath and he goes, well, Sir Knight, as the Watcher, you are the one to specify the rules of the duel. We shall follow your command. We may give suggestions.
It is customary where I am from for the challenged to define the terms.
Then, Seth, the terms are yours. Feel free to go as wild as you want to. It won't make a difference.
I think he just kind of blinks.
If you wish, I can give you terms. They'll probably be as fair to you as I could possibly make them.
Sure, go ahead.
Best of 3. We simply duel. First one to fall down loses. Best of 3.
Sounds good to me.
Very well.
I believe you are strong. You have powers, do you not?
Yeah, don't die.
In that case, of mine. As if I should use all of mine, he lifts up his hand and a drop of water rises from his, and it stretches out to form a trident, which he grasps and then begins to twirl them around like it's like some kind of expert bow staff member. He stops in the same pose as before, but now the hand on his waist, the one that was behind him, is holding most of the trident facing away from you. And he lifts up his hand and looks towards you, and he goes, I hope you're ready. Do not be sad when you're defeated, it was inevitable.
Except it's just smiling. Let's go.
Meanwhile, outside, Godspeed's like, oh boy, he's really good. Hit record. What are you two outside doing, Enchantress and Rekken?
Is there popcorn?
Godspeed's like, this is not the time for popcorn. I don't really have time to Sledge arrives and she has 2 bags of popcorn in her hand. And she's like, alright, here you go, love.
Thank you, Sledge.
No problem. We've been waiting for this for ages. Other members of the league who were there also join in and come in to take a look. And they're all eating. And they're like, so. And then Sledge looks over at Godspeed, goes, so, you think we should recruit him? We're not quite sure. I believe he said no, that he didn't want to join the league. Yeah, it looks pretty good. How well do you think he'll do in this battle? I'm not sure. Let's find out. I'll be watching and monitoring his process. Oh, his stance is a bit wrong, isn't it? Oh, that Narcissus guy looks really tough. You think he's gonna be okay? I'm sure it'll be fine. Elle is in there. Elle as in Lancelot? Yes. Lancelot? Yes. Lancelot? Not Lancelot. The other, you know what I mean. Yeah, I know. Alright, so the duel begins. What would you like to do?
Okay, cool. First, I guess, I'd like to freeze all the water in this room.
Ooh, let's see if you got it. Alright, so you're gonna unleash your powers to freeze all the water?
Yeah.
I love it. Do it.
This wouldn't happen to count as barreling through an insurmountable barrier, would it?
No, not really. No, not even
I
close.
didn't think so either.
You're just changing the battleground,
Soon.
which is very important. Oh no! Oh no! Grab that XP, baby!
Oh,
Alright.
Oh my god, okay.
oh
Okay,
dear.
because you rolled a fail, I'm gonna take that as a loss on your side. Just for this one, it wasn't a direct attack, because you rolled a fail and you were gonna affect his weapon. So, you reach out and you attempt to basically freeze the water, including the one in his hand. The ice starts to freeze about you, and he sees his trident freezing. And he looks at you and he smiles. As his trident starts to freeze, he flips it over and he chucks it at you. It flies like the frozen trident flies towards you, and as it gets closer to you, it shatters and becomes droplets of water, which all turn towards tridents and slam into you. Take a powerful blow.
Alright.
There it is.
I'm rolling with I'm Not My Body because this is gonna be fun.
Oh, you'll be fine. Just roll a 10 for me. Roll a 10 for me.
Ecstatic, no.
7. Ugh. Now, just so you know, Seth, you can always choose when you take a powerful blow to simply fall down and lose this round of the duel.
Alright, I'll keep that in mind.
Feel free to choose any other options you want, but that's always a choice you can pick. Unless you roll a complete failure, at which point I'm like, yeah, you just fall down. In this case, I'll give you the choice.
Oh god, okay, well, yeah, I guess in the interest of time, he can lose the first round.
Alright, so yeah, the trident slam into you, you hit the ground. As you hit the ground, the ice you gathered shatters everywhere, and the water starts to fall. And Narsus walks up, reaches down towards the water reforms the water trident had before, puts it on his shoulder, looks down at you on the floor, and then puts a hand out to help you out.
First round goes to Narsus.
He'll take it, granted very angrily.
He lifts you up onto your foot and goes, I hope the big team has more to offer than this. And he walks back towards the station.
If I wasn't already angry, I'd mark it. But I am, so.
Alright, he stands there and he goes, round 2, you may begin, and you may give us the statement. Elle, when to start?
Okay. Elle will summon her sword and hold it up. And start. Point it down.
He's charging at you at the start. He's like full on sprinting towards you.
Alright, Seth will meet him head on.
Yeah!
I'm gonna use in a china shop.
Oh boy, look at you going all the way. Okay, roll it and let's see how well you do. Right, what does in a china shop do?
Oh, it gives me an extra option for directly engage.
Ooh, nice.
At the cost of intense collateral damage.
Oh, okay, I'm down for that. So pick your choices.
I would like to avoid avoid his blows, and also impress him.
Okay. Now, when you pick the Impress, Surprise, or Frighten, it's usually any of the 3. I believe it's opponent's choice, but I'm glad to pick Impressed. I'm glad to pick Impressed because I think that makes sense for here. So describe the 2-minute fight scene you have with him that causes the dojo to shatter at the end.
Alright,
he ends up on the floor, by the way, so you got this round.
Yes, okay, good. Yeah, so Like Seth and his like averagely, he like, you know, moves like a normal person. But he has like a really like intense autopilot that snaps on because he has super reflexes. So whenever he's fighting like close combat, like even if he looked like just a, you know, like a kid in a schoolyard fight like a couple seconds ago, he like instantly becomes like some badass like, you know, fighter.
Ooh. Keep going.
Yeah, so they probably like charge at each other, and he
You have
probably
full,
just
you have full narrative control for the scene, so feel free to have him do cool things as well. Like, go on, just go wild in the description.
oh, okay, God. Yeah, I think it's rather simple. I think he actually just, like, as Narsus is charging at him, I think that, you know, he's being underestimated a little. So he actually just judo flips him
Oh!
and just, like, you know, craters, and just the whole dojo is just, like, shaking.
Oh, so you grab him, you lift him up, he's dojo flipping, and then like you put a bit of F in, and you slam into the thing.
Yep.
Everyone outside actually feels the quake within the building. And the dojo you're in breaks apart. Like it literally shatters from your slam onto the floor. The two of you are unharmed for now. But as it slams on it, it looks like you're now in a cavern that's just broken apart. With like broken pieces and water's flowing on the floor everywhere around your feet. You're not like foot deep in water. And Nuts on the floor like trying to get his breath back from the slam. And he's just lying there looking up at you like, okay, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, and it's probably like freezer temperature in here now.
Oh, fun. I think Elle has Elle is like on one knee and has her sword buried heel deep into the ground to keep standing.
I think that's fair.
And she stands back up and pulls her sword out and then raises it and says, "Round 2 goes to Seth. Back to your position."
The prince gets up, looks over at Seth, and he goes, "That was a lucky shot."
We'll see about that.
And he walks on over to his side again. And he takes a deep breath and he waits.
The outcome of the next round will determine the victor. But
before you act, Seth, it's at this point you realize he's not holding his trident. And the water that was foot deep that you just broken apart to the area, directly below you, the trident rises, like right beneath your jaw, like it's coming straight for you. Take a powerful blow.
All right. Motherfucker. Yeah, so I used I'm not my body, so it's gonna be an automatic lose control of yourself or your abilities.
Do you have 3 conditions marked? Alright! How would you like to lose control of yourself and your abilities? Do you want it? I'll give you 2 choices. You can lose access to your powers, and then you have to fight him one-on-one with nothing but your guts. Or, I can make this interesting.
Oh boy. Oh, what an option. You know what? I'll pick first. Take him down the old school way.
You reach, what's called a trident comes up and you stumble backwards. You're just about to fall. And it like, there's a tiny little bit where it like rips part of your shirt. That nice little coat you're wearing. It just rips right above it. And you go backwards. And as you're standing there trying to like collect your powers in a way to basically attack him back, he's already next to you. He's swinging, he's swiping. You can't concentrate. You're on the back foot. You can't access your powers to use. He's just keeping you there. And you can't like just go to autopilot. The autopilot has been shut down because you're too busy reacting to him to get there, and he's getting closer and closer with every swing to knocking you down. What do you do? Please don't use your moment of truth at this moment, please. I'd like you to.
It's okay. I don't have it.
Okay, good.
That would be pretty funny though. Even if he's on the back foot, like, yo, no powers. This is cool. This is just another day in the life. He's gonna fight back. And I know that Narsus is like pretty big, yeah?
Yeah, he's pretty big. Yeah, he's pretty tall.
And Seth is very small, but he's very quick.
Alright, can you do this? Make the roll. Just so you know, you can't use Bull in the China Shop because you've already destroyed this place.
Yeah, it's fine. It's directly engaged, right?
Yep. I believe in you.
I believe in me too. Or not.
Well, you see, there is 3 teams. I mean, I feel I should at least say that.
Be shellfish.
Oh, right, that's a thing. Remind me how that works.
If you're selfish, no, you can't really be selfish in a duel.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I can't give you that. I'm really sorry. Normally I'm like, yeah, do something cool, but you can't really be selfish in the pool. Someone can help you though if they can find something to say or do in the situation to make it better.
Can't you? I think that Seth could be selfish if they, like, don't hold back to avoid hurting Elle here. Maybe.
Oh, okay. I mean, that'll count. I mean, basically, if you do that, I'll say you do it, but you also hurt Elle. Is that really what you want?
God, like, he wouldn't do it on purpose, but I think that he's, like, pissed enough and in the zone enough that he could forget about it, and, like, if Elle happens to get in the way, I don't necessarily know if he'd be able to stop himself.
Okay, in that case, pick one from the list and explain whatever you do which will hurt both him, put him on his butt to make you win the duel, and hurt Elle. Please note, making Elle feel a little cold is not hurting Elle. I want you to describe something that will actually hurt Elle.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, and also before you do that, you need to shift your danger up and one of your other things down.
Fair enough. I will shift danger up and savior down.
Yes. All right. The final duel is up to you. Just describe it, what you're doing, and then pick one from the list from, that thing, attack thing, whatever it's called.
You mean pick one from the list?
Yeah, pick one from the directly engaged list, and then describe what you're doing.
Yeah, so I'll pick resist or avoid their blows.
Okay.
Obviously.
No problem.
And I feel like that advice that Elle gave him before the match, like, hey, watch the feet.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he suddenly like remembers that, and since Narsus is really tall, and I don't know, they've got like a crazy height difference, so somehow he's closer to the ground, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So while he's on the defense, I think that he just manages to turn that around by just sweeping him off his feet.
Yeah.
Just really randomly, like, lets himself be open just in that moment. But I think that, like, the momentum and, like, Narsus goes down, obviously. So maybe, like, maybe Seth, like, also kind of, like, falls over him, or like, you know, just keeps going with that momentum and just sort of lands into Elle. But since he lost control of his powers, I can just say maybe they didn't disappear completely, so maybe there's like a very like sharp piece of ice.
Well, let's not go too much into stabbing Elle. How about you push him onto it? I'm like, yeah, let's start out. Let's not go too crazy. How about this? You grab him, you throw him to his feet, but as you throw him to your feet, your powers kick in because once you got it, and you freeze everything. So when the place clears, he's on the ground, you're on top of him, but when you look up, Elle is encased in a block of ice.
Yeah, that's good.
All right, so yeah, that's what happens. There's that beautiful lift up, and you sort of scream, ah! As your powers explode everywhere, and there's a cold breeze, a cold burst of air hits everything, and you go slamming down, and you see him on his back, and he lifts up and goes, I yield, ow! And you're like, yeah! And you look up, Elle, I did it! And Elle is just frozen in a block of ice, just there.
Oh crap.
Elle, I'm not gonna ask you to take a powerful blow, but I am gonna ask you to do something right now. Because
Okay.
you're frozen in a block of ice.
Yeah. What do I need to do?
I don't know, you're the one that ice! That'll be good!
Okay. I think it's just like, I'll basically, in a way, burn my way out then. I'll just start concentrating as much of my power in just like on my skin as I can.
Do you have flame powers?
Nope. I have energy projection though.
Oh, fair dude. So you can go, try and burst out. I love it.
Yeah.
Make a freak roll. Unleash your powers to break out of that.
Okay. Can I do this with precision and grace?
No, you can't do this. What is with you people? And precision and grace.
Listen, it's the thing.
Yeah, I can't unfortunately give you precision and grace. You're covered in ice. You're trying to break out.
We have a great
Unfortunately, you're
team.
not. Gotta go for it.
Okay.
Just roll all successes. Problem solved.
Okay. No, I rolled a 7.
That's pretty good. Temporary and unstable, or mark condition.
I'm marking a condition, which is my last condition.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
That was not my fault. I did not do this. I should point that out. Okay. You break out just as the doors open. Enchantress, Rekken, you see everyone rush in to try and basically break Elle out, and they rush past the computer, and they all go inside basically to help her out. But as everyone gets in, you can see them already breaking up out of the shell.
Oh.
I think that Seth won this. I'm going to. Do you have blankets?
Godspeed's like, yeah, we'll get you some blankets, everyone. Come on, let's get some. Okay, let's get some blankets. Yes. Someone actually goes out to get some blankets and stuff like that. And there's that bit of moment where you're all being escorted out, and the room is being reset, and everyone's being queued up, and you all have a moment to yourselves if you want.
While everyone went to help Elle, can we check or can I look through the computer and see what Galahad was fighting before? Temperance
Okay.
showed us how to use the training room back at the big team base, so is this similar?
I'll
assist if need be.
Okay, tell you what, I think you guys have access. Unleash your powers.
Sure.
Come on. Come on, you got this. Come on. Come on, you got this. You got this. Hashtag believe. Okay, yeah, I'm assisting.
Ow. God.
Alright, if you assist, you can either make it temporary and unstable, or mark one condition. I'll tell you now, making it temporary and stable is not a bad thing.
It doesn't. I'm gonna mark a condition because this is kind of spying and I feel a little bit bad about it, but a little bit.
No problem.
Put the
I'm
You
sorry,
cheese
decide-
on.
Alan.
Because you decided to go for a mark condition, I'll give you the full answer. You look on the record desperately, and you can see that Galahad has a specific list written down for one mission, and it's called The Fall. And The Fall has set parameters, except for one part that is not set, which is the number of people involved. and the data is there for you to download, so you can view it later if you wish.
I would like to. I don't have. Lily's just like,
Do
you
you
have
need
a USB key? I don't. I forgot.
do you need some storage?
Yes.
I'll take it.
Downloading. You have the parameters written down.
Yep, I'll
It's
download all the parameters.
no sweat. All right. When you get back to base, you should be able to log on and hopefully see what that's all about.
Let's try fighting it.
All right. So when you get in, when you all that stuff out, the cloth is being thrown over you. You're all sort of like trying to catch your breath and relax, and everyone's doing that fine, and like everyone's being basically recovered. The prince has not said a word. He's just sat there with that like space blankets over him, and then he goes, "What? I don't need this. I like being wet." And he just sort of sits there and folds his hands and doesn't say anything.
Elle is shaking from the cold.
I think Seth is catching his breath, but I think he has apologized like 10 times to Elle.
It's okay. I'm safe.
He looks really guilty.
Congratulations.
Thanks. It's thanks to your advice, to be honest.
Yeah. I'm very glad you won.
Yeah, me too. You know that plant room was pretty warm.
Yeah, I might ask Enchantress if I can go with her. It's been a while since I've talked to Dryad, so I was pretty happy to see her.
You have, what's called Godspeed goes, you have full reign of going to any place you've already been, please.
Yes, Godspeed, actually. Can I... Do you think Galahad hates me?
Oh.
He looks towards you, and he doesn't see Galahad there, and he looks towards you again, and his face gets very serious. You represent something Galahad didn't have. But for the first time, and I can't believe I'm going to say this, if you want to know, you're going to have to ask him yourself.
Okay. I'll do that some other time when I feel brave enough.
He looks like he wants to say something, and then he sort of sighs and shakes his head, and he goes, "All the nights are the same these days, aren't they?"
Yeah. I'm gonna go talk to a Dryad now.
Yes, please go on. I have to. He looks at the danger room like let's call the meeting with the heroes a bit later, shall we? I think you all had enough for one day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So while you go to see Enchantress, are you going as well, Seth?
No, he will go talk to Narsus.
Narcissus is standing there, arms folded. He sees you. He leans off the wall, and he puts his hands behind himself, and he says nothing.
You're better than I thought you'd be.
And he takes a deep breath, and he goes, "When the going gets tough, you're better than I thought you'd be."
Thanks.
I only pale in comparison to my brothers, though.
Mm-hmm.
Titus was always the best duelist.
Joe. Out the prize.
He takes a deep breath and he goes, I will never go back on my word as an honor as an Aquilonian. State your
I
prize.
didn't think you would. So, I've been thinking. Sure, maybe it's more realistic to assume the worst. You know, about everything. But I feel like there's something lost if you don't try for the best, even if it feels impossible. So, what I want you to do is not to just choose Montreal or Halcyon. I want you to choose all of us. Carve a path for all of us. Help us save Montreal and Halcyon together.
Save both?
Yeah,
You see him
that's
sort
what
of,
I want you to do.
he sort of looks away and he looks back towards you. But what if there's no way?
Maybe there isn't, but I feel like if we're just gonna focus on the last resort of picking one or the other, it's not gonna do us any good. We're supposed to be heroes. You're supposed to be a leader, right? You should always be striving for the best solution.
Takes a deep breath and then he lifts up his hand and he puts it across his chest, like his fist, like half the Wakandan salute. And he goes, I, Prince Narsus, Prince of Montreal, first of my name, I swear upon you, upon the duel that we have, that I will put every single effort I have, whether in this life, nor the next, nor the one that comes after, to finding a solution to save both Zodiac City and the glorious city of Montreal. And I will not rest until I am certain that there really is no way both can be saved.
I think he gives him a small smile and, like, you know, slaps his arm. It's like, yeah, that's more like it. And you don't have to do it alone.
Are you? Well, I will definitely not do it alone if I have you there with me.
You got it.
And he stretches out his hand, like to shake your hand.
And Seth will shake it.
And as he takes it in that same, like, badass, like, son of a bitch style, gain influence over him.
At long last. And I think as they, you know, let go of hands, Seth is just like, and for the record, I think you're good enough. I think you're more than good enough. Stupid fish. You got this.
I think that's fair. Also, less of the fish. I'm an Aquilonian.
Yeah, whatever.
Would you like to pick now to make him your rival?
If I can do that.
At any point during the game, you can always choose who your heart and your rivals are. You do not have a limit.
Yeah, I know. I just assumed that it was only PCs.
No,
and
you can,
not
you can literally do it to anyone you see that you don't like.
Man, I wish you told me that earlier, because it would have been.
Yeah, pass that shit around. That's the point of the bull, is that you're always picking a new love and a new rival every game. You're like, you're my new love, no, you're my new rival.
Yeah, for sure. I didn't know it was possible, parentheses, mechanically, but technically, Narsus has been rival since day fucking one.
Good.
So yeah, who'll take that? Alright, and that's you done. Anyone else want to do something else before we continue?
I was going to talk to Lily.
Go for it.
I'll walk up to, I think where Rekken and Lily both still are? Is that true?
Yeah, let's together. Fuck it, why not? Let's make it easier.
Yeah, we were just heading down with the heroes at the same time, not staying behind suspiciously.
I knew they stayed behind. Hi, Rekken. Miss Lily, I was wondering if you wanted to go back to the plant room.
Yeah. Do you? Are you okay? That was a lot
Yeah,
of
I'm
fun.
very cold, and that place was nice and warm.
Ooh. Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, you should sit with the shade plants again. They liked you a lot.
did they?
Hmm?
Oh, that's nice. I would trust you on that. Okay then. Well, walk with me. Do you want to come too, Reckon?
Uh, I think I've had enough plants for now.
Okay, good, good. Um, yeah, thank you. Um, it's been a while since I actually saw a dryad. Can you? Where's your tree?
What?
Where's your tree at?
I don't have. I mean, I have. So you know the garden on the roof at the base. I don't
Mhm.
really have any trees in there yet because I don't have a ton of space in my little corner of it. I have a bunch of other plants though. Uh, I don't
Oh,
really have
are
my
you
own.
like a bush dryad or like a flower one?
I don't think I'm a dryad. I mean, until pretty recently, I was a regular person.
You're not.
No.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry for the confusion. It's you look exactly like one.
I do? I'm not.
Yes.
You mean there are other things that are like me?
Um, well, there's enough of them. I haven't seen a lot of them. I've seen I think two or three. Um, they're not, I wouldn't say they're rare, but they tend to not like being seen by humans very much. So I haven't met many.
Well, I get that.
But yeah,
Oh,
there's all sorts of fae back where I'm from.
where is that?
Avalon.
I don't think I've ever been there, so probably not a dryad. I'm not. I don't super know what happened. I was by the tree, the zodiac tree,
Mhm.
uh, and then I kind of followed someone because they looked suspicious, and then I got lost, and then there were I don't know a bunch of weird plants, and then I was back, but I was still plants. So
Oh, I think you might have been in the Feywild.
sorry.
Have you talked to Rhiannon at all? The Morgan?
No, I've never met her. I heard Seth and Narsus talking about her though.
She's the
No?
one who made the tree.
She's the
And
one who made the tree?
mhm. She's my niece.
What?
She's my niece.
And you just see Lily like, you know the gif where just like the math is flying in front of the person's face? She's making that face of like, it just, okay. Um, so, uh,
You should talk to her sometime. I think she'd be able to. I think you'd both get a lot out of it. Um, but what you're describing sounds like the Feywild to me. And if you want to learn more about, I mean, how you are what you are, that might be a good idea.
thanks so much. Man, I thought, oh, I thought for ages I must have had like a weird reaction to permutation pink or something. And instead of people, I was like an animal, I was plants. Oh my gosh, there's an explanation for this. Ugh.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if something like that happened. It might as well, but I don't think that's the case. If you want, I could give you Rhiannon's phone number. She
Yes,
comes
please.
by the base relatively often. I actually live with her, so I'll just tell you that I'll tell her that I gave you her phone number so she doesn't get surprised. But yeah, do you have a piece of paper?
Lily already has like a
Lit-
notebook and pen out, just
Oh,
staring at
good,
you.
good. I don't have a quill with me. Okay. Yeah, I'll just say Rhiannon's phone number. Yeah, just tell her that Elle told you to talk to her, and I'm sure she'll be very happy to. She's a really nice person. She's honestly the nicest person I've met here.
Awesome. Thank you. Oh, and Lily kind of like looks around to make sure like no one is within earshot, just like checking that no one can hear this. And she kind of like leans in and is like, also, me and would I know Rekken as Olivia or Rekken?
Both, I guess.
Okay. Me and Olivia, we went through the computer to check what Galahad was fighting. So she has that. She downloaded that. So if you want to go back to the base, you could check there. You know, we were just curious.
I think Elle looks simultaneously like happy, and kind of like she's dreading to find out what it actually is. Thank you. That's... You didn't have to do that, but it was really nice of both of you.
Well, I mean, it seemed important.
Yeah.
Um,
Have you ever had a friend who you were really close to, and then one day you see them and they just act completely different towards you and you don't know what happened?
yeah, my brother's like that. Ever since this, she just like gestures to all of herself. He doesn't really talk to me anymore.
It sucks.
Yep.
Galahad's like that for me. I think the worst thing is that I kind of know what happened, but it wasn't my fault. So I guess that's also the same thing as you with your brother. It's definitely not your fault you're like this, and it's also not a bad thing. I don't know how you feel about it, but it's... I think it could be wonderful.
Thanks. And you too. I mean, yeah, it wasn't your fault, but maybe if you can talk to Galahad now, or if you can like figure out what he's doing, and then you can talk to him, and then you guys can make it better, right? I mean, you knew him before, and things used to be fine, so maybe you can like fix that.
Maybe.
I'm rooting for you.
Thankfully.
Oh,
You okay?
she realizes she accidentally just made a pun.
Oh. I both in character and out of character did not quite realize until this moment.
Wait, what was the pun? What was the pun? I must know.
Rooting for you?
Oh my god.
I didn't realize until I said it, and then I said it.
Guess you just barked that one out then, huh?
I can't believe you did this.
First it's the fish jokes, now it's the tree jokes.
Well, I'm going to sit here in the shade and warm up because I feel like I have spent 20 years in winter. So, yeah. You enjoy the plants. They seem to enjoy you.
Yeah, they're all pretty friendly. These shade ones, though. Big fans of you.
All right. Is there anything else anyone else like to do before I pretty much start wrapping up?
Um, uh, there was a screens room, right?
There's a what?
Like a screens room, or
Yeah, there's a screen like viewing room, like a communication room.
ooh,
But the problem is that because of the duel and all that happened, everything else, they're like, let's wrap this up now. And we'll do the rest of it next time you come around.
because I wanted to sneak in there and see some gremlin shenanigans, see what they're up to.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
Next
Then
time on Big
next
Team.
time, though, get
To be
that.
to be continued.
To be continued.
All right, that's
right.
fine.
Godspeed asked us to tell him where Narsus stood, right?
Yeah, he
We
did.
could do that.
Oh.
All right, in that case, we'll deal with. It's been about maybe an hour or so. You've all recovered. The base is all fine. He's throwing you back to the teleporter. And he's walking back with you, and Narcissus is ahead. And Narcissus is like basically talking up with Sledge, and they're discussing fighting techniques. And Sledge like, so how did you swing your weapon like that? He's like, oh, well, it's like this. You see, you also got a big hilt, so you should probably be weight balance on the left. Do all Aquilonians know how to fight like this? Yeah, we all have training, but of course, there's only the best, which would be me, of course, obviously. Teach me some more. And they're just like talking back and forth. And Godspeed's walking along with you. And he's sort of like, did you find anything out?
Yeah, I don't think you have to worry about him.
What do you mean?
He's on our side. I mean, I don't think he's ever not been. Well, he swore an oath that he'd try everything in his power to find a solution for both of us. And I think that's good enough.
Are you willing to risk the big team's position on the what's called League of Heroes on that?
I think he looks a little taken aback at that. And probably glances at Elle for a second before looking back at him.
Nods.
Yeah, I would.
Then so will I. Then he keeps walking and he goes, I know some of your members don't trust us, and I totally understand. We are a large force. We work around the world, and we have to take care of the greater good before we take over what happens to the city. And your main issue is that we may possibly leave Halcyon City to be undefended. Almost like each and every single time we've managed to save it. But the truth is, because you are at Halcyon City, we can worry about the rest of the world. Because you can stop Grey, we can stop the others. We can stop the terrible Russian conglomerates that are forming up. We can go to England and destroy things. We can finally shut down Pollinator. It's because the big team exists that we can do our jobs, and each and every one of you who joins us helps cement and keep that going. We will always make sure you keep Halcyon City as a priority because that's where you're from, and that we will make sure the world itself is safe, and you're not, and you don't have to worry about that. Do you all of you believe him?
I do.
Yeah.
If you do believe him, bump Savior up, bump Mundane down. If it's locked, don't worry about it. If you don't believe him, roll to reject influence.
Oh, is that for all of us?
Yep, every single person. If you believe him, then mark those things up and down. If you don't believe him, roll to reject influence.
Sorry, I heard like half of that. Can you like give me the cliff notes of what he just
He's
said?
saying big team is fucking awesome. You guys rock the house. You don't need no bitches to tell you what to do.
Don't know why you'd reject that.
Yeah, I'll take that.
What labels
Right,
are
shift the
there?
labels. Mundane down, Savior up.
Oh, Savior is locked. Whew.
Hey.
I am no hero.
All right. He leads you to the teleporter, and everyone sort of says their goodbyes. Hiccups. Said their goodbyes at the moment. He goes, Sledge, would you get them back to the base? He goes, absolutely. And sort of nods towards you all. And he looks over and goes, Narcissus, you are always welcome to come up to see what the place is like after you're done staying where you're staying. You'll always have a home up here with the League of Heroes as well as the big team. And if one is too much for you, you can always go to the other. And Narcissus sort of gives him a good nod and smiles, gives a thumbs up. And he's sort of like, I'd very much like to see Meredith again. But it's time to go. All aboard the teleporter.
Maybe we can install an aquarium in the big team base for you.
Godspeed's head is like, as he looks at the budget, he's like, and he's like, I could have Flexer was here. And just as he says that, the teleporter moves you guys back down, back to Earth. You have a lovely, beautiful shot of yourself coming over the distance. Like, Eyes on Me plays in the background, I don't freaking know. And you arrive back in your respective places. You may have a final scene to do what you want to do before I end again.
Can I potentially load up the thing in the battle?
Yeah.
Danger room, not the battle simulator, just to see what it does.
Do you want to make sure Elle is there to see it, or you don't really care if Elle sees it or not?
I ask Elle if they want to accompany me. To see.
Yes.
Alright. So I'll load it up.
Alright, it loads up. It goes, warning. Information process, mostly video, can convert to actual battle scene, but it's recommended you watch first.
What do you say?
Watch it.
Alright, we'll watch it.
Please enter the danger room.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay. Guess we're both in.
Accessing file. Accessing. Converting. Downloading. Hacking the planet. That was a joke.
Your jokes are the best, Gaia.
I know. I'm fabulous and on fleek.
Oh gosh.
Loaded.
They.
678 what's called simulations recorded. Where would you like to start?
Oh.
Number one.
The very beginning.
Loading number 1. The sky is on fire. Halcyon City burns around you. Flames are docked everywhere. Above you, you can see it, the call and yell of a dragon as it floats above Halcyon, turning everything into ash. In front of you, you see, loading into the moment, is Galahad, standing up, looking straight at the dragon. Ahead of him is Arthur. As he turns towards him, he grips up his hand and goes, Galahad! Shall we take this on together? Galahad nods and joins him by his side, and the battle commences. It is intense, it is horrific, and it's over in 3 minutes. Galahad ends up on the floor. Leg looks slightly twisted, armor tattered, exhausted, and he looks up, and Arthur looks down towards him and smiles. The first time any of you've actually seen Arthur in his incredibly young face, his boyish good looks, his short blonde hair, cut just at the right size, and as he stands there in his full-on armor with a I Heart Halcyon bandana draped over his neck, he looks down and smiles at Galahad and says, "It was always meant to be, Galahad. Don't worry, I'll take care of it." He leaps up towards the dragon. There's a light. Simulation ended. Do you wish to load more?
Yes, please. Elle's knees are shaking.
Loading number 2. The same thing happens again. Galahad stands there. They go into the fight together. 2 minutes later, Galahad's on the floor. He leans up and goes, "It was always meant to be." Turns around, goes inside it again. Same thing for number 3. Same thing for number 4, 5, 6, 7. Gaia goes, loading all movies to be loaded at once, only showing changes. Then she starts to show it all. When you get to 20, the scene changes. Galahad stands there, but a second person has joined him, Lancelot. They go into battle. They fall. He says the same words. He dies. The scene, by 50, it's changed again. It's put other members of the league inside. First Godspeed, then Sledge, then both Godspeed and Sledge, then everyone. Every member of the league together in that one moment helping him out. And they all fall exactly 2 minutes in. And every single time, Arthur says it was always meant to be. The scene changes again. It starts to be other people. People who aren't spread the league. Silencer. What heroes are there even? Clockwork Girl. All of them start to be loaded inside, trying to do something, anything with it. Nothing's happening. You get to the 600s. Lancelot's loaded. So is Elle. They stand together. He looks up. They go into the fight. They try again. 2 minutes later, everyone's on the floor, beaten. Arthur dies. More members of the big team start joining in. More members of the big team and the league start joining in. By the 600s, villains are joining in. Grey, Pollinator, all of them are just being pulled. Anything is happening. Finally, it goes to 678. It cuts to him standing there on his knees, broken. Every single hero that has used or been used in any part of a danger room, loaded or unloaded, is behind him, defeated. And once again, Arthur reaches out his hands and says, "It was always meant to be." Turns around, flies to the dragon, dies. The simulation ends. Galahad sits there on his knees, hands holding his head up, not crying, not sobbing, but you can see this is a man that is truly and utterly broken. Gaia goes, 678, simulation ended. The room is black. And on that note, I think I'm going to end the session here.
Yay! Elle is screaming.
I think that's fair. Epilogue. It's back at the base. Not base. It's back at the Watchtower. Everyone is calmed down and being careful. And sort of, not being careful, sort of just having a moment to relax and see what's up. They're going through lists, mostly made of Narsus and his stats that will come from there. They're watching the battle very closely. Sledge leans over to Godspeed and goes, "Where's Galahad?" And he leans over to her and goes, "You know where." It cuts to the danger room. Galahad is walking towards it. He enters the room, the doors close, and he goes, "Load simulation." And the computer goes, "Loading simulation number 679. So, guys, let's start from the top. Annie, what do you want to go for?
Thanks, Ecstatic.
I'm speechless. 1 second. Grow closer to enchantress.
I think that's fair.
Also, Black Halo, you're right. I'm not crying because I physically cannot cry right now.
That's okay. That's perfectly fine.
Yeah, enchantress has influence over me. Hey, look, I have 2 conditions. That's gonna go down to 1 condition.
Hey!
And that condition is hopeless because that makes a lot of sense.
Yay!
Goodbye.
All right, Enchantress. You now have influence over Rekken. Congratulations. Next up, Elle.
I also grow closer to Enchantress.
Oh, that's really sweet. All right, Enchantress, you gain a influence over him. And next up is Seth.
Hello, I'm not crying. Grow closer to Elle. And you do not have influence. Oh, actually, I don't know.
I think Elle doesn't have influence over you at this stage. I think.
I do not. I do now.
Okay,
There we
then
go.
you do now.
Yeah.
And finally, enchantress.
I'm gonna grow closer to Elle.
Yay.
All right, and I don't believe Elle has influence over you because the first time you're meeting. So
I
there
do
we go,
not.
everyone. Oh, you do?
I do not.
Hey, now you do. All
Mhm.
right. You all know what you need to do. The game's pretty much over. I think you can end the broadcast now. Thank you very much for listening. We're going to do our stars, which is